Hello and welcome to my channel Close to the Edge. My name is Pat, where we talk about all things prog rock, classic rock, heavy rock, and maybe, just maybe, Kevin,
a sticker rock, Pat.
A sticker rock. Welcome along, everyone. I have a great panel here today. I have Mick Wall. He's up there on which side. It's obviously different than when I'm looking at it. We have Dermot O'Reilly from Clonmel. Dermot's been on the channel. Mick has been on the channel. And look who's back. Look who's fucking back. Kevin. Because you've been asking where he was. And I think he went away for a while and emigrated somewhere else. But anyway, today we have a very interesting video, lads. Our 10 best albums from 1970 to 1979.
From each year.
From each year in our collections.
Right.
It's the end of my 70s series.
Right.
So
you're wrapping it up with this one.
Wrapping it up. I was going to do it on my own, but you suggested, Kevin, that we could get a few people together.
Well, it'd be interesting to hear what the lads.
Very interesting to hear what Mick, Dermot, and yourself.
Yeah. And
maybe not so much me, because I think they probably know what I'm going to fucking do.
Same here. But
you know what I mean? They'll know what they have a fair idea.
Yeah.
But this will be interesting. We might have a few crossovers.
You might have bound to have with the amount of albums came out in the 70s, Dermot, didn't you?
A few crossovers, and they're all, but the trouble with a lot of the albums in the 70s, they're all absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, great.
But we're actually saying which is the best, not particularly our favorite, Kevin, even though one of them, obviously, they're going to be our favorite as well as the best.
Yeah.
But not necessarily so. But what we're going to do is, we're going to go 2, 2, 2, and 2.
Right.
And we're going to start off with Mick. 1970, right. Mick, the best album in your collection.
From 1970, I picked this one.
Oh,
so Black Sabbath's Paranoid. So the second album they released that year, obviously their first album was out earlier in the year, February, I think. Paranoid came out near the end of the year, September, I believe, but Pat will correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I mean?
It's around September, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's around those time anyway. For me, War Pigs is worth the price of the album alone. You know what I mean? I think it's a classic album from Sabbath. Definitely, steering more into, people talk about Sabbath inventing heavy metal. I do think it's the Paranoid album where that really begins. You know what I mean? I think they start to get heavier even than on the first album. You had the Doomladen stuff for the first album, but I think they really started getting into the heavier side of things.
Songwriting is superior.
It is, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
It's a better album than the first.
Yeah. And it's interesting for me because you might find a common theme here. A lot of this stuff is me delving back into stuff that I might have skipped because I would have got into Ozzy in the 80s and I'm going back to Sabbath. So I learned Ozzy from Bark at the Moon, and then and a little previous to that, because the modern guitar players he had then were incredible. So me as a guitar player was attracted to that. So I'm going back the way now and relearning an awful lot of stuff that I maybe didn't catch the first time around. So at the moment, that's a big album for me. I think it's class. So
and
for 1970,
if you're going back and finding those albums, that's brilliant. That's great.
Yeah, it's incredible for me. And then, speaking of learning, and since Pat started this channel and listening to music with you guys, I'm being poisoned. So, so Fragile is my choice from 71. Again, I'm a new Yes fan. Roundabout on that album is amazing. South Side of the Sky, amazing as far as I'm concerned. Currently, as a new Yes fan, that's probably my favorite album.
Interesting.
Not necessarily their best album, you know what I mean? But my favorite. It's probably easy. It's their easiest album to get into, and it's one of the first of their albums that I heard. So that's probably another reason as well. So look, for the first 2 years, they're my choices.
And that's interesting. With
to me, two classics.
Because that's their second album in 71.
Yeah,
they had two albums in 71.
My favorite, the Yes album.
And I know we have poisoned you with Prog, but you're on a journey that I envy to get into all those prog bands,
discovering them,
discovering all these different nuances in music. It's absolutely brilliant. They're brilliant picks.
Great picks, Mick.
There's no right or wrong answers here.
No,
Now, Dermot, your first two.
Yes, I'll go now. Mick, can I just say fantastic picks, both of them. Paranoid was actually kind of down on my list, but I had to kind of rejig it a bit. Because what I was looking at, I was thinking like, because Pat made it very clear, it wasn't your favorite album, it had to be the best album from that year,
Best.
you know. So what I was thinking of was how do I define best? And I was thinking the albums that had influence. And it's like you said with Paranoid. That was the one. I think the first album, it was kind of a rough draft, but Paranoid was the finished piece. I think that they never really surpassed. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of digging around then in 1970, and I said, what else kind of could have had a big influence like that? And I came up with Miles Davis' "Bitches Brew." So when I think about this album, it's actually down as Directions in Music by Miles Davis, rather than actually being a music album itself. And basically, at the time, Miles Davis was kind of moving away from the traditional jazz instrumental instruments and things like that. He was going more electric, and he did on the previous album in a silent way. But the story goes that he was looking at all these big festivals happening around the US and these thousands of kids turning out to these things. And he was only still playing in these jazz clubs, making X amount of dollars a night. And he started saying to people around him, imagine the money I could make if I was able to play at these sort of gigs, And he actually designed that album as a kind of a vehicle for him to be able to go to festivals and get all the money from playing in these festivals. But the influence that it ended up having, yeah. But it's typical Miles, isn't it? But the influence that it had was absolutely astounding. I mean, I can hear that album in Lark's Tongues and Aspic. I can hear it in Tangerine Dream albums and everything, because it's about texture, it's about structure, it's about opening up the thing. The first album on it is 2 epic pieces of music, one on each side, and then the second album is 2 pieces of music on each side as well. So it's breaking down the structure completely, and it's just producing textures and things that were kind of followed the whole way into the 70s and a lot of exploratory music. So that's my 1970 one.
Groundbreaking.
Absolutely amazing album.
I only discovered
Did you, Kevin? Yeah. And what do you think of it? How do you find it?
It took about 5 listens to get anywhere into it, but I just find it really interesting. And like you said, very influential. But it's not an album now, Dermot, I play that often, to be honest.
No, same.
Maybe twice a year if I'm lucky.
No, I'd be the same. But it's an album that even took me a long time to buy, because I'd heard it a few times and I was saying, Jesus, will I be able to handle this thing? And eventually I did. I went out and bought it. And now and again I listen to it. But it's not a thing even that you listen to the thing the whole way through. You just listen to maybe a side of it now and again.
Correct.
Exactly. That's brilliant anyway.
Fabulous. Yeah, it just kind of broke down structure. And then going on from that, the lead guitarist on it, 1971, John McLaughlin, Mahavishnu Orchestra's first album. So The Inner Mounting Flame, another album that had huge effect on the music industry. So when we looked at, the effect that it had, like Yes, listening to it and then producing Relayer, the effect again on King Crimson in the John Wetton period and everything like this, that this album, this was an absolutely amazingly influential album. So I'm going with Mahavishnu Orchestra, Inner Mounting Flame for my 1971. Not my favorite album of theirs, but probably the most influential album from 71.
Brilliant, Dermot. Excellent choices. Kevin.
Right. My first album, 1970, was this album.
Paranoid. Yeah.
Paranoid. And, of all the albums came out in 1970, that to me stands as the best album. I think that's the best. Sabbath's best album. It's I never ever get tired of it. And if someone said to me, out of all the records I have, name the top 5, that's always going to be in the top.
You always said that. Yeah,
that's how much I love the album.
That is true.
First heard it in 1978 from Pat Got a copy from your uncle?
That's right.
No, from a fella you used to work with.
A fella I used to work with, and I sold it for cigarettes then to Paul, and he's had the
Jesus.
original album. He still has it, though, in fairness to Paul. Still has it. I sold it for smokes, as you would do. And anyway,
yeah.
But that's where we heard. We remember we played that and we got it, and it blew us away.
Yeah, it's amazing. It still blows me away.
Absolutely incredible album.
And we're all after talking about it, so I won't go on too much about it. I'll move on to the next year. I could only pick that album.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin,
That's to be
whatever.
expected.
Yeah. And we played this very copy, Mick and Pat, out at Paul's place.
Yeah, that's the original. That's the original.
That's the first press in the UK one. Some sound off of that, Mick.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah, and a fantastic album. You know,
yeah, brilliant album.
I think it's a very influential album, that one. The way Dermot was talking about influence, that album is very influential.
Well, it's got everything on it.
Yeah, everything.
It's got your headbangers. It's got sort of the mysticism of, the Hobbit and everything. It's got folk on it.
Folk on it. And it even had a little bit of prog on Black Dog. The drum. You listen to the drum on Black Dog. It's going at a different tempo than the rest of the fucking track.
Yeah. I knew you'd have to get something in with Prog.
Yeah, he's Prog in everywhere.
Prog in everywhere.
That's a very hard track to play.
If I pay a bit of planks next, you'll probably tell me it's Prog. Irish trad.
Yeah, it's Irish prog.
Irish trad Prog.
Irish trad prog.
So that's my second album from 71. As Mick said, and Pat, I'm not surprised, they're my favourite band, Dermot. After all these years.
Very good.
So,
very good. Brilliant choice again. Brilliant choice, Kevin. You know, that album, like the resonance of that album is still here today.
It is a core. It is a core. It is.
And the Paranoid, the two of them are still shaping what we hear today. You know, fabulous. Yeah.
Well, I think my album, my 1970 album shapes everything to do with proto metal, heavy metal, everything. I think they were just as influential as Black Sabbath, and possibly even more so, because they are my favorite band. It's Deep Purple and rock.
Yeah,
like that is
amazing now.
Has everything. Again, you're talking about this has everything on it.
Yeah,
really. But it's a heavy, hard rock, heavy metal album.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And they were never again as heavy as this album. Purple, never again on any album.
Well, look at the way it started with Speed King. What an intro.
Yeah.
And can you imagine the original copies make out in I don't know whether you know this, Dermot. The original American and Japanese copies
and Canadian,
edited off that mayhem at the start of Speed King. How could you do that? They thought it was too noisy.
I mean, that's practically thrash metal. Like, you know what I mean? Speed King.
Yeah, it is.
But to me,
and the vocal,
the best
the
album.
vocal on Child in Time is amazing.
The guitar solo on Child in Time.
Yeah,
still gives me goosebumps after 40-something years.
We heard when we heard this course on a cassette tape. It just blew us away, and it still blows me away to this day.
Great choice
in rock.
Not surprised there, Pat, at all.
1971 was.
No, I was waiting for it to make an appearance. Actually,
1971 was difficult, very difficult. Because I was thinking, what's the best album in 1971? Now you have to bear with me on this one. Is it the Yes album? Possibly the best album of 71, because this is when Yes kind of found our fucking balls to say.
Well, Steve Howe joined him, didn't he?
Yeah, but not the best, not the best album. Is Fireball the best album? It's my favorite album by Deep Purple,
and it's a prog album,
in
parts.
But is it the best album in 1971? No, it's not. The best album, Kevin had it there. That's the best album. That's the best album in 1971. The Runes album 4, No Name on it. It is the best album.
Very good.
Might not be my favorite album.
What do you mean?
Might not be a favorite of mine in the sense that the other two are. I much prefer the other two, but this is the best album. It's the most influential out of those two.
Oh, okay.
And I think it kicks, like you think about this album, starts off with Black Dog and ends with my favorite track, When the Levee Breaks. Like totally two different types of music. And then all the bits in the middle.
All the bits in between.
Rock and roll.
Stairway to Heaven, of course.
You Stairway to Heaven, which is, one of the most popular tracks in rock music.
And one of the most amazing guitar solos.
Yeah. So
people that don't even like music know Stairway to Heaven.
To me, that's the best album in 71.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Well, the point I'd like to make about that album is I'd love to see even currently what the sales figures are for it. I'd say it's somewhere, you know, if you had a top, we'll say 200 selling albums, it would probably be in that chart.
It's up there. It's well up there.
No, yeah.
I was only looking at that a while ago. It's well up there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I think it might have sold 30 million in America alone. It's way up there.
Do you know what?
It's one of the fifth biggest selling albums of all time, I think.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, but you know what sold more than that?
Back in Black.
Yeah, by AC/DC, which is anyway. I can never get my head around that. That was ever.
Well, I don't know. Back in Black is quite a good album. There's a sound.
It's a brilliant album.
It's not Led Zeppelin, four though. It's in the four. Anyway, Mick, 1972.
Okay, back to me for 72. I have to reach in and pick up a CD this time. This is the album I picked up.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is a deluxe album I picked up. The second CD is BBC recordings, some live stuff. So double CD edition of it. Probably one of the first prog albums I have heard because an uncle of mine lived with us for a few years when I was a young kid, and I had access to his records, and this was in his record collection. So I've always had a soft spot for this, particularly at the time The King Will Come, you know, was probably a favorite, but going back into it now, I love Throw Down the Sword and you know, all that stuff.
Sometime World.
I don't think there's a bad track.
No, it's not a bad track. It's a fabulous
album. You know, I think it is one of the perfect albums to me.
And not only that, Mick, it's one of my favorite covers of all time. Because you have the Greek sentry on the front, the Argus, but when you turn it over, you got the spaceship.
Yeah.
And is it coming or is it going? I mean, it's such an intriguing cover. I love it.
Yeah, it's just a class album, you know. And this the deluxe set is quite nice, you know what I mean?
It's lovely.
There's a great booklet with it, you know what I mean? And it opens out nice 2 CDs. I won't put out the booklet now, but that's worth picking up. And those CDs are not expensive, you know.
No, that's a brilliant album. That's a brilliant pick, Mike.
Good pick there, Mike.
Absolutely brilliant.
So 73, I don't think any of you will pick this one. It's the Who's Quadrophenia. Don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
So
did you bring that out to Paul's there recently and play it?
I did. I played 1 or 2 tracks off it, but I think you owe it to yourself to sit down and listen to this in its entirety. There are people who argue that this is a prog album, right? It's definitely a concept album. It's a double album. There's a number of instrumental tracks in it that, you know, there's tracks that run to 8 and 9 minutes in it. It carries a theme all the way through. It opens up with a couple of minutes of music, which is actually the sound of the sea, and small snippets of the whole album come in over the waves as it's coming.
Yeah.
So you might hear a line from a song or a piece of music, you know. It then goes into songs like The Real Me and The Punk and The Godfather that are pure hard rock. There's orchestra pieces in here. There's everything. It's one of the finest rock albums of the 70s, as far as I'm concerned.
Wow, very good.
And I think anyone owes to themselves to take a listen to that album. You know, I think it's the Who at their finest. You know, they call it a rock opera, and you know, as Tommy was, but this is much different. It's to me, it's a much more mature band. You know,
interesting.
So definitely would say take a listen to that.
Wasn't that made into a film with your man with Sting in it?
They made a film of the story of the album. Yeah.
Sting played the main character in it.
Yeah.
From the place.
Yeah.
They did, yeah. They made a film of the story, much like they did with Tommy, you know.
Yeah. Okay. That's excellent, Mick.
So,
very good.
Yeah.
Now, Dermot, what are you going to pull out of the...
Okay. 72, Roxy Music's first album.
I love it,
okay. What the hell is wrong? This
Roxy Music.
Right. Brian Ferry goes to an audition with King Crimson, right? He meets up with what's his name, the sax player, Mel Collins. Tries out with Mel. Mel talks to Robert Fripp about him. Fripp listens to him. Two of them get together. He doesn't get the job. They eventually give it to Boz Burrell. It's the Islands album that they're putting the lineup together for. But Fripp was so interested with Ferry and what he was talking about and what he had to say that he said to him, he gave him a letter to go to his manager And he said, here you go, like talk to him about it and see, can you set up your band? And he went off, and that's where Roxy came out. But this thing is absolutely insane. I mean, if you look at the state of the lads, even there, Phil Manzanera with his glasses on. Yeah. You've got Eno there, you know, all the boys. This is mad stuff. And, you know, they performed Ladytron on the old Grey Whistle test out of this, and people still talk about it. The influence this had was absolutely astounding as well. It's a mind-blowing album. It's an experience.
I haven't heard that album. Have you heard that album?
No.
Have you, Mick?
I haven't, no. This way I hate your show. I end up with 10 or 15 albums to buy at the end of it.
No, this one, just even on YouTube, just look up the Ladytron old Grey Whistle test, Roxy. Just see these. This is bonkers. These guys were nuts when they started. Okay,
Country Life, I've heard.
What's that?
Country Life, I've heard that one. Is that an album?
Yeah, Country Life. That's a pretty good album. Yeah. That's, I think, their third album, Country Life.
Is that their best album? Is that the best?
Well, I wouldn't say it's the best album. The one after it, For Your Pleasure, I'd say is better. But this one is quite good. Incidentally, the woman on it, she's a Danish model who they tried to deport her out of England a while ago after Brexit for not being a national, and she had to go into the courthouse and hold up the album to show that she'd been part of the cultural zeitgeist in England for so long.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that's an absolutely brilliant album. Absolutely, really would recommend you to give that a try. But try and look at the guys playing live on the old Grey Whistle test. Just nuts.
Okay,
and Nick, you're not alone. For 73, I picked Quadrophenia myself.
Yeah,
I think it's an absolute masterpiece. It's, you know, you've got, like, in the album, you've got the kind of the big book that you can follow it with all the photographs and everything in here. The whole production of it, you're dead right. It's supposed to be a rock opera. It's like a talking book, even with the way that it tells the story. It's mind-blowing. Joins it all together. Very early arpeggiation using keyboards and things that the Who had started on Who's Next, but it's much more organic in this. Like you said, the sound of horns on tracks, orchestration on things, all sorts of differences in the music here. The whole thing just is so expansive. It's fantastic. It's like a world in its own. And really, the other, if you haven't got it, Kevin, get your hands on it.
I only have one album by the Who. Who's next?
All right.
No, I have a few, but I don't have that. But Mick did play it for me a while ago, and I liked it.
Yeah, it's a great album. I mean, it just begins so well, so strong, and then the end of it is just so strong and emotional and everything that it pulls you on this journey the whole way through. It's just a fabulous.
Well, it must be good if two of you picked it, Lance. To be honest,
two of you picked it exactly.
Yeah.
Well done, Dermot.
Well done.
I always knew you would pull something out of the rabbit as this out.
No. Sorry about the Roxy now, lads.
No. We'll all have to go and listen to it.
Well, listen to it. We have to go Kevin.
Right, 72. Of course, all these are hard to pick, aren't they? There's so many albums. But you look, I went with an old favourite.
Yeah.
What an album. What a fantastic album.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Brilliant. I mean, what can you say about that? The stuff on that is amazing.
The only thing that lets it down for me now.
And even Never Before is great on it.
I don't like Never Before.
You're weird at me.
Even though they're my favourite band, it's the one track that lets that album down. The one track.
I disagree, Japan, 100%.
Well, there's maybe I'm a Leo as well, isn't there?
That's a great track.
Yeah, but there's so many good tracks on that. Than that one.
Yeah.
Like there's so many good.
I remember when I bought that. When I bought that, it went onto my turntable, side 2 of it, and side 2 of it stayed on the turntable for about a month without being changed. It was just played over and over again.
Brilliant.
But yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, my friend.
That's amazing. It is a brilliant album.
A brilliant album. It's Deep Purple at that peak, I think, isn't it, Mick? The
I
sound
think
of
so,
the album, the circumstances recorded and to turn out an album like that.
In Montreux, with the
after
place burned down.
The place burned down. All we all know the story.
Yeah, with smoke on the water and that.
So I mean, I prefer probably in rock myself, but I'd have to say I think that's Deep Purple's best album.
Okay, well, they probably reached the peak there, the Mark II lineup at that time, and never.
Well, they did, never to be equaled again.
Never equaled again, even when
No.
they came back in the 80s. No.
So that's the machine that everyone knows. My other pick for 73 is this amazing album. Selling England by the Pound, Genesis.
Yeah, it's an incredible album.
That to me is an absolutely incredible album. Can't say enough about it. And that version has given me a new lease of life.
That's the analog productions version.
Oh yeah, that fancy audio foil record.
Yeah.
The sound of them is just amazing.
It's absolutely incredible album, that.
You're hearing details in it I haven't heard before.
No.
Always loved the album, but since I've got that version a couple of years ago, like it even more. So, I mean, there's so much stuff, like all these years of stuff in 73, Dark Side of the Moon. There's loads of stuff. But for me, I think that's the best album of 73. I love that album, you know. So there you go.
In your collection. Is that right,
In my collection,
In
pal.
your collection.
Exactly.
Obviously, we're going to read in the comments what people think is their best.
Of course, which
in
is
their
interesting.
collection. That's excellent, Kevin. So I'm going on to 1972, and it'd be remiss of me with the name of my channel not to pick this album. I think this is the best album. Thick as a Brick could be
Yeah.
close to the edge, lads. It's possibly the ultimate prog album.
Yeah, it's up there.
You know what I mean? What an
Fantastic
album.
album, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant album.
It's amazing. It's just 3 tracks.
Yeah, it's fantastic though.
And the analog productions one is just after being released, and he held it here, and I'm going to listen to it after this is finished just to hear what it's like. But to me, you can't go wrong.
No, I agree with you. It's great.
Now, Thick as a Brick, I did video a while ago, and I thought Thick as a Brick was slightly that much, but it's on the day. It could be Thick as a Brick, it could be this, it could be other albums.
Yeah.
But that one is amazing. Now, there was no debate or doubting with my next one.
For 73.
For 73. One of the greatest progressive rock albums. By possibly one of the greatest progressive rock bands of all time.
For a short period.
For a shot, yeah, for that first
That 4
4
or 5 years, yeah.
Brain salad surgery, lads.
Surprise, surprise.
Carnegie 9. Half of the fucking first side and the rest of the second side, and it's just
It's insane.
an insane
It's
track.
off the charts, musicianship wise.
Musicianship wise, everything about it, like, you know.
Mm.
But they're even, I love that part in it. You know, when he says, "Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends," they were bombastic.
Mm.
They were cocky bastards. They knew how good they were,
Yeah,
you know. But that's just
yeah. Great album.
unbelievable.
Mm.
Unbelievable.
Very
What
good.
did you think of that, Mick? Mick, you play it recently?
I've had a play of it since I picked it up.
Yeah.
Look, it's a great album, but I need to listen to it a couple of times to really get a
once you get
a
into
feel
it,
for
it's
it, you know.
It's an amazing album, isn't it?
No,
Kev?
it's
a great
fabulous,
album.
Yeah.
How did none of
Anyways.
us have Dark Side of the Moon, lads?
Because it's been done to death.
Don't
Me
take
too,
it.
everybody
not
has it.
It's not my favorite Floyd album.
No, it's not my
Yeah, I
favorite.
suppose.
I pick Wish You Were Here and Animals above that. So
I think-
you know,
Yeah, so there you have.
for me anyway.
Yeah,
Mick, night.
yeah. And for me, I did consider it, but I was thinking there's much more in Quadrophenia, you know, to kind of
Yeah,
dig
but I would
into.
have felt the same, yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you know,
Interesting.
Dark
That's
Side of
very
the Moon didn't through the mind, like, you know.
I enjoyed that. That's very interesting. Quadrophenia, isn't it? Bad?
It's very. We'll have to
Have
have
to check it out.
We'll have to get a check out. 1974, Mick.
1974, lads. I have this one.
Ah,
Oh, brilliant! Absolutely
So-
brilliant.
oh, yeah.
I know they released 2 albums that year, and the obvious one is probably Born, but I
Yeah.
prefer this. I think
you?
that album has. I do, yeah. I prefer that album. I think it has
Yeah.
elements of Stevie Wonder in it. I think it has elements of Bad Company in it. I think it points towards Whitesnake in a big way. So yeah, for me, it's just a fantastic album. I've been
Got a track on it
listening
that
to it a
Jimmy
lot.
Page said he'd wish he wrote. It's so
Yeah.
good. Soldier of Fortune.
Last
Yeah.
track on the side too. Yeah.
Page was talking about that track back in the day, and he said it's just the most fantastic track. He wished he'd written
Yeah.
it. So that's a decent
It's
compliment.
incredible. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's incredible. Be straight up.
Yeah, great album. Funky album.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
and the other one that I picked then for 75, I don't know how familiar you are with this. The
74.
Scorpions in France. Or
No, 75.
oh, 75. Previous one 74. This is 75.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Scorpions in Trance.
I'm not familiar with that.
No.
It's early Scorpions. I would have got into the Scorpions in the 80s with Love at First Sting and stuff like that, but that's hair metal. This is classic hard rock. It's a little bit more, to me, it's more interesting. So I started to go back the way from that instead of, I don't like the Scorpions after Love at First Sting, but I do like them before that. And I got, there's a double live album they did called the Tokyo Tapes, and it has some of the tracks from that album on it, and that's what led me to that. So I think that's an incredible hard rock album from
what year, Mick, was Love at First Sting? What year was that?
I think that was about 82. I think it was about 82. It might even be a little bit later, but it's in around that. It's an early 80s album.
Because Blackout was 82. That's a brilliant album, and I lost interest after that.
Yeah, well, I think Love at First Sting is the album after Blackout, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So it could be 83, 84 then. And I had no interest after that, but the earlier stuff I like.
Never had anything by them, like German band, am I right?
German band, yeah.
Yeah, German band. Who's the guitarist on that album?
Oh, it's not Michael Schenker. It's his brother.
Rudolf
Schenker. Yeah. Rudolf. Rudy. Yeah.
They're interesting picks, Mick. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great album, and that's well worth to listen to.
Okay, I must give it a listen to it.
Not familiar, Mick, at all.
You're on about this channel costing you money. You're costing me money now, Mick. This man here.
Tony Fair.
What are you going to pick now?
1974, damn it.
Okay, lads, I hope you're ready. Right. I got 2 copies of this Autobahn Kraftwerk, 1974. You know, I mean, you talk about things that are kind of influential and have kind of upset things and changed things. What an album, you know. The whole kind of electronica. I went to see them there in King John's Castle there about, was it last summer or the summer before or whatever. And it was just like one thing after another, knew every song. It was like the greatest hits, and they were just absolutely amazing. And you could see the influence and effect that they had on electronic music going forward. They just completely changed the landscape. So it had to be Autobahn. You've gone very quiet, lads. I'm getting worried here.
No, I'm not familiar with that album. I did used to have a couple by Kraftwerk. What's that famous song? The Model, is it? You know that one, The Model?
Oh, yeah. That's off Man Machine. This is great. I mean, the title track, Autobahn, is 22 minutes, 30 seconds. Takes up the whole side of the album.
We'll check that out.
I'm not familiar with that, being a Tangerine Dream fanatic.
Well, Tangerine Dream obviously influenced.
Yeah. I would have thought of Tangerine Dream.
I saw him up in the Board Gosh Theatre a few years ago there. Don't know if you remember what they played, but they played Autobahn and a few other pieces. They were brilliant live.
I suppose album I've been meaning to get, and I'm going to have to check it out.
Well, I don't mean to get it. I'd have no interest in it.
I know you wouldn't, Kevin. I know you wouldn't.
Wouldn't do that to me,
Right, Jeremy, 1975.
If you like Tangerine Dream, try that out. That's fantastic.
Well,
Nick, sorry, I meant to say Stormbringer was one that turned me off completely. But the way that you described it there as having that kind of Stevie Wonder funky thing in it, it just suddenly struck me. Christ, that's what they were going for. And I'm going to have to dig it out and listen to it again. So,
but you know what Richie Blackmore said about that? You know the reason why Richie Blackmore Deep Purple? Because he said that he didn't want to be playing shoe shine music. There's exact words that Richie Blackmore said.
Yeah, he complained about it being too funky, but then the I can't remember if it was Coverdale or Hughes said afterwards, but listen to how funky Richie was able to play, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he enjoyed it. He's just
for a fella that didn't want to do it, he played some stuff on the album.
And he was one of the guys that led the band in that direction and was instrumental in getting using Coverdale in, because he thought they could take it in that direction, and then completely changed his mind. Because Richie Blackmore at the back of it all, let's face it, that's great guitarist, lovely guy, bastard, and that's all.
I wonder if I wonder if what he did in life was
So-
a loss of
He was
control.
a fucker, right? All right, yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Okay, for 75, I've got Joni Mitchell's The Hissing of Summer Lawns. Like, I know you're probably going to say, what in the name of God is wrong with this man tonight? He's usually all proud. But, you know, what I see at the start of the 70s, music kind of, it changed into different strands of things. One was the kind of rock strand that Mick is kind of looking at here and pushing here. So we had to kind of went from that kind of blues rock into more rock and more kind of hard rock elements and things. Then there was the other bit with the kind of prog thing. Then you had the jazz fusion kind of way that things went. And what I find with this is you also had the singer-songwriter thing coming out very strong. And what I find with this is Joni Mitchell on this album, she pulls back together that kind of singer-songwriter into a kind of jazz fusion kind of experimental area. I know she did it on a few albums, but this is the one that really resonates with me because a lot of it is about observing other people. A lot of the time, Joni Mitchell is very introspective, but on this album, she's kind of looking out, and I find that really, really. So I think this is a great album, actually. Yeah. So that's my.
Only one I've got by her is Blue, Dermot.
Yeah.
Joni Mitchell.
Yeah. Yeah, a very quiet album. If you get some of the kind of mid-70s stuff, I mean, she worked with Jaco Pastorius and some of these other people. Yeah. So I mean, she has these kind of jazz fusion lineups on some of the albums that really go into strange places with her, and she was using strange chords, strange tunings on the guitar, and all sorts of things. And really interesting stuff. So. But I would recommend that album. It's a fantastic album. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah. Okay, Dermot. They're
great. Interesting.
Interesting to say the least.
But you know
I think Dermot want to pick these albums that mostly I didn't hear about, but I will check out the Kraftwerk one is the one I have to check.
Yeah.
I really do. And rock music.
Yeah.
Kevin, 1974.
74. For me, it's Yes is Relayer.
Yes, absolutely amazing album.
Which I think is a fabulous album.
Patrick Moraz on keyboard.
Patrick Moraz, a brilliant musician. Well, they all are, but that album there was sort of jazz fusionish sort of.
It is jazz fusion, yeah. It is.
It's got a vibe to it.
What's the track on?
Yeah, it's a bit of the lads had listened to the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and there's a touch of there's a few little touches of Bitches Brew in the between the keyboard playing. If you listen to Moraz's electric piano work and the work on Bitches Brew, he's picked up a load of little runs and things off that album.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. But The Gates of Delirium, a brilliant track, but I do prefer it as Pat does of the Yes shows.
Yeah,
I think it comes. It literally comes alive. In a live
it's just amazing on that.
It's a different sort of it. They take it up a few
more energy in it.
There's more energy. It's brilliant. But as an album, I think I think Relayer is a great album, I think, in 74.
Oh, brilliant.
It is
brilliant.
Classic.
For 75.
This is going to be a surprise.
Surprise, Pat.
75. Physical Graffiti.
I couldn't think of a single album that's better than that in 75. Simple as that. In my collection.
In your collection, Kevin, yeah.
And
but I could think of a lot better than it, but how was ever?
Like what?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh yeah.
But that album is let down to be it's an amazing album.
It is.
Don't get me wrong. That track Down by the Seaside. What was that doing on it? Couldn't they put something else in there?
Whatever they like,
Down by. It's an unbelievably bad track.
Oh Jesus! You like Neil Young, Pat? No, I didn't think so.
Betty's voice.
No, a brilliant album.
Apart from that one track, every track on that, especially the first, if that was brought out as a single album, first and second side, I don't think to be an album to match it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Really, basically.
But that album to me has a real live sound to it. Like you listen to In My Time of Dying.
Yes, like
that's done on one take.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
Which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And they said when they finished the take, when they finished it, Dermot, Jimmy Page, John Bonham wanted to get to the pub And he said, that's it, Jimmy. And then Page goes, I thought you could have got a bit more out of it, this, that, and the other. So Bonham was effing and blinding and giving out. He said, right. And they ran through it again. And he played it with a renewed enthusiasm, partly from anger and everything else. But then when he finished it, he just looked across at Page, who smirked at him, and Bonza went, "You bastard." He knew. He knew what he could get out of him.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and that's the take they did, because when you listen in My Time of Dying, they're trying to find how to end the track. So it is really live in the studio.
Yeah, I know. I remember reading that. They're trying to find how to end it.
And it's just fantastic.
That's brilliant, Kevin.
So, I could go on all night.
What I'd say about that album,
yes,
each side of that album, it's like Electric Ladyland. You get double albums, and surprisingly, a lot of double albums kind of went through my head looking at this. But Electric Ladyland has a different feel on each side of the album, and so does Physical Graffiti. It's very like that. So you have the first side, and there's, rather than go into it, there's three sides that have a big epic track that kind of defines that side. So you have In My Time of Dying, Kashmir, and In the Light. And I think the thing about Down by the Seaside, it's on the side within the light, and I think it's to kind of is to give you a little bit of a break after the onslaught of that. But I think it's fabulous pick, Kevin. Yeah, that was on my short list actually. Brilliant pick.
Great, I knew you picked that, but it's an amazing album. My 1974 album is by none other than the Genius.
The Genius.
Frank Zappa, apostrophe. Like, to me, this is probably his greatest album.
Oh,
I think it is. It's the more easy.
It's the one I got into, Zappa with.
Yeah, it's the one that's easily accessible. Not Tinseltown Rebellion, Kevin. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, but I never liked it, and I still don't like it.
I know you don't like it. But of course, you have Stinkfoot on this. And of course, watch out. Watch out where the Huskies go. Don't you eat that yellow snow.
Jack Bruce is on it.
Jack Bruce is on the title track. This is absolutely incredible. And the musicianship on this, Dermot, I think this was people said this was his best lineup.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This was the one.
3 or 4 albums around that time.
They had, and they were all unbelievable. So you could pick any of them, and they're brilliant. But that's Frank Zappa, apostrophe.
Yep.
For 1974. 1975 now, people might disagree with me on this one.
What could you pick, Pat, that's better than Physical Graffiti? I wonder.
Deep Purple, Contest Band. I love this album.
So do I. It's a great album.
I think it's absolutely brilliant because it's different. It's absolutely different. The way Mick was on earlier on about Stormbringer, this takes Stormbringer, because they don't have Blackmore, to another level. They had the guitarist then that could play that kind of music.
Oh, he could play anything. He was out there playing with Billy Cobham,
like Tommy Bonham was an amazing guitarist. And I think it's a pity that the drugs took over, because I imagine what they would have brought out after this.
But is it Deep Purple, without Blackmore?
People say it's a Deep Purple without Blackmore. Of course it's Deep Purple. And has Ian Pace and John Lord on it.
Nice story.
You should have brought a big wooden spoon.
I didn't know it.
Yeah, because people say that it doesn't sound like Deep Purple.
It's a brilliant Purple album.
Brilliant Purple album.
And that version you have there, the
Japanese version is the original one. Kevin has one as well. The sound of it is better than that remix CD.
It is. It's stunning.
But that's not only is that my favorite, I think that's the best album in 75.
Great. Good pick, Pat. It's a great album.
Right, we're moving on to 76 with Mick. Mick and Dermot. I have a fair idea what Kevin's going to pick, but Mick and Dermot, I have no idea.
No whatsoever.
I have a fair idea what I'm going to pick.
Yeah, and you have a fair idea what I'm going to pick.
Yeah, but the two lads,
boys are sort of.
Fucking Boney M could come out in a minute in 1977.
Almost. These next 2 years are a little bit more difficult for me, and it's probably down to the In Your Collection, because I stream a lot of stuff. So I think I might have leaned into different albums, maybe, particularly for 77. But in 76, it was nearly Boston's first album. It was nearly Trick of the Tail from Genesis. But I did want to support our own, and my hard rock leanings come in. So, Jailbreak. Yeah, this is a record store day release last year. It's kind of
different
outtakes
cover.
and alternative versions of it.
I
You
heard
know?
it. You played it there a while ago, and it's actually excellent.
Yeah.
I like the different takes.
It's
on it.
interesting, you know. There's additional lyrics in some songs that are not in the final album, and there's some unfinished tracks and all the rest of it. But like, that's not the album we're talking about. Jailbreak is the album we're talking about. And for me, you know, it's probably the breakthrough Thin Lizzy album. It's
Brilliant
the Boys
album,
Are Back in Town, which was the, you know, Boys Are Back in Town launched them in the States. So to me, it's a really important Irish rock album. So that's why that ended up in, you know.
Yeah. Great album.
So yeah, for 77 then, I'm afraid in my collection is Thin on the Ground for 77. But I have been getting into a little band called Yes over the last few months. So, so I've included Going for the One. You know,
What an album.
so
What an album.
it's a great album. It's a great album. You know what I mean? But there is other stuff from 77 that probably deserves to be in everyone's collection. But that's the best that's in my collection at the moment. You know?
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about, Mick, and that's a brilliant
You know?
pick.
Yeah.
What a
But
brilliant.
it's a fantastic album, like, you know.
It's one of your favorite tracks, isn't it, Dermot? Awaken.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Great.
yeah.
It's like they were back to their old kind of
Chemistry or
chemistry
magic,
and magic there. And they never had an epic again as long as that, I don't think, did they? After
No.
that.
No.
They did the Mind Drive. They did the Mind Drive on Keys to Ascension.
Yeah, Mind Drive off of Keys to Ascension 2. Yeah, but it wouldn't be that classic Awaken.
I lost interest after Drama. I love Drama.
I know you
after
did.
that.
I know
Well, actually, I like 90125 as well, but after that, no.
Great pick, Mick. Great pick.
Good pick, Mick. Very
Dermot,
good.
1976.
All I can think is poor Mick. Like, remember when he used to have friends and he talked to people about music, and now guy got all this yes and stuff, and now he'd be like he's in another world talking a different language, and people looking at him like he has two aids. Welcome to the club, makers.
That's it.
Okay.
It's a Boney M.
I said to someone recently,
once you
Dermot,
get into 76 things again. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I was joking with someone recently that I'm finding it very hard to listen to a song that's shorter than 20 minutes lately. You know what I mean? They just feel incomplete.
I haven't got the attention span for less than 20.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it has to be.
Yeah. A themed album that you've got to sit down and just like take the whole thing in and read all the sleeve notes and everything like that.
Come here, I
So
tell you,
yeah,
Dermot.
I found.
Come here, I tell you.
Yeah.
First time Mick heard A Tale from Topographic Oceans, he loved it. Now, there ain't many people out there, when they hear it first time, will love it. And he loved it.
Yeah.
I have to say, I did like it first time.
So he wants every album now to be double studio
double
album,
studio
4 tracks.
The ultimate Prog album in terms of length, isn't it?
4 tracks.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dermot,
So
76.
Hey lads, don't knock the Roxy. I know where this is coming from. Don't knock the rocks, man.
Go on, Dermot.
But yeah, I found once you get into 76, 77, you know, there's that big thing of like punk destroyed Prog and everything like that. But I think music kind of ate itself. You know, it's around 76, 77 that you start to see things start to fall away, you know, and I don't know what it's down to. It's just like all of a sudden something happened, you know. But what I was looking for then was somebody that kind of would carry on or carried on with some sort of kind of conceptual albums and things that kind of move forward with that. So for 76, I came up with the Alan Parsons Project and Edgar Allan Poe's Tales of Mystery and Imagination. Fantastically produced album, fantastic sounding album, great album, one that I really like. You can kind of get like stuck right into this. Again, it's got its pages like a book again. All you have to do is have that in an album and I'm there.
No.
You don't know this one, no?
Oh, I don't, Dermot, no.
So he took a load of the stories from Edgar Allan Poe's short stories and Tales of Mystery and Imagination. He built an album around it. It's kind of a lot of it is very creepy and kind of you know, really kind of upsetting kind of stories and things. And then he's built this album around it. Sound on it is fabulous. Of course, he was the engineer on Dark Side of the Moon. And
That's right,
put together a fabulous band in this thing, and they put together this album. Absolutely great. I mean, Pat, you've got to, if you're not familiar with this one, you've definitely got to get your hands on.
Okay, I'm going to have to listen to that one.
So it's a real big concept album. The next one then, 77. We get into 77, and what's going on? There's a lot of punk and new wave and stuff there. And I was trying to think, like, can I think of an album that kind of brought both together, that was kind of able to, that would work with kind of prog heads and people that were into all that, and then worked with kind of new wave people and kind of these kind of nutcases. And I remember when I went to the UK, there was one band I used to listen to that loads of people that were psychobillies and goths and punks and all sorts of people used to be into. And that was Hawkwind, and the album from 77, Quark, Strangeness and Charm, which like has like certain kind of punk sensibilities about it, but also has this outer space science fiction stuff going on in it and everything that is just incredible. I just love this album. I think it's an amazing.
Don't know it at all, Dermot.
Don't know it, Dermot.
No.
Okay. I'm sorry, lads. I sat there.
No. That's the whole thing, is to bring in new stuff,
No, I said I can't pick out like what everyone else is going to pick. I've got to like think of it.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Open minds.
That's for sure.
That's fucking sure.
No, but listen, if you haven't listened to this album, listen to this album. This is absolutely astounding.
Listen to it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So yeah. So that's my 76 and 77.
76, Pat.
Yeah.
Rainbow Rising.
Yeah, sure. Brilliant.
Fantastic album.
Amazing. Rainbow's best album.
Rainbow's best album. Some amazing playing on it. And in a way, I think as well, it sort of brought in a new type of metal, like classically influenced heavy rock, heavy metal, if you like. I think, anyway.
Even though a lot of people think, what's the first track side too? I can't think the name off the top of my head.
Stargazer.
It sounds like Kashmir. Do you think that sounds like Kashmir?
I don't think it sounds like it, but I think I remember reading where he was influenced by it and thought Kashmir was one of the best things Jimmy Page had ever written.
You can hear it though.
And then he proceeded to write a track as epic as it. So I don't know if it sounds like it though. I don't think so. But
it can be. It's similar, I think.
Yeah. What a brilliant album.
Amazing.
Every track.
Can I come in there for a second? Because Kashmir, it might sound similar to Kashmir, and I think there is certain kind of roots between the two of them. But it's, I think what you said, Kevin, is spot on. It introduced a kind of new virtuoso kind of metal, this kind of concept of prog metal. And I have to say something that I'll probably get hung from here by all your viewers, is that Dream Theater wouldn't have a song without that album. Every Dream Theater song, I think, should have been is straight off Rainbow Rising, to be honest.
Wow.
I think I don't know if you're familiar, but Yngwie Malmsteen, he released what they call neoclassical, and he is basically Richie Blackmore down to the black shirt and white Fender Strat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would deny the influence because he says his influence is Paganini, but it's Paganini via Richie Blackmore. You know what I mean? So I think you're right when you say, you know, that album and some of the other stuff Blackmore has done, even with Purple, it was leaning into what went on to be neoclassical. You know.
Well, I think that album Rainbow Rising is as good as that by Deep Purple. I think it's an amazing album. As good as anything Blackmore worked on.
I think any of the stuff with Dio, with Rainbow, you know, even the last album, which you know is not rated as highly, is incredible.
Oh, it's still a great album. You know, Long Live Rock and Roll, you mean? Yeah, it's great stuff.
That's good album too, yeah.
But I love Cozy Powell's drumming on it as well, and Tony Kane's keyboard.
Yeah. Oh, that's a brilliant album. Brilliant album.
It's classic.
Yeah, and 77, lads, will be the Tull.
Songs from the Wood.
Songs from the Wood. What an amazing album. In my top 3 Tull albums, I'd say.
It would be, Kevin, yeah.
Fantastic album. Love it. And that certainly kept the prog thing going, Dermot, in 77 anyway.
Yeah, it's very proggy. Yeah.
Now I know
Yeah,
it's sort of
yeah,
Elizabethan and medieval sounding as well, but at times it even reminds me a little bit of Gentle Giant in its complexity.
Yeah,
yeah.
But one thing I have to say, which that's the Stephen Wilson remix, and he's brought everything up in the mix. All it does really is just elevate Barrymore Barlow even higher, in my view, as one of the greatest percussionists ever.
Yeah, brilliant drummer.
How he's
Brilliant.
so complex on this album. It's unbelievable, but listenable. It's not boring and just hitting away for the sake of it, you know. They're all brilliant on it. John Glasscock, Martin Barr, Anderson himself. I think that's a great album with a great mixture of styles.
Yeah, it's a brilliant album.
As you know, Pat, the book set version, the CD,
Yeah, absolutely superb.
Unbelievable.
It is, yeah.
With the live concerts and all the rest.
Everything. And of course, you have John Glasscock on bass, and Richie Blackmore did say about him. He was asked the question, who do you think the best bass player in rock music is? He said John Glasscock.
There you go.
And he was only 27, 28 when he died. Young fella.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But that album for me, I love Thompson. Would never get tired of it.
No, you would never get tired of that. That's brilliant, Kevin.
So there we go.
Right, my 1976 is, I think this is a masterpiece.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
The more I listen to this album,
the more you like it,
the more you rate it. The more I'm convinced it's Genesis' best album. It is Genesis. I think it is. A trick of the tail. I think it has everything on this. That's
fantastic album.
This has everything.
And that version, that's the analog.
That's a production version, but this album has everything.
Yeah.
Genesis. And you didn't miss Peter Gabriel at all on this. Because Collins just fitted in.
Yeah.
Sounded similar to him.
Yeah, which is a coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah, but the playing on this is unbelievable.
Oh, it's fantastic. And the songs, the writing. And with an album like that, I don't know if you're familiar with these 45 RPM records, Dermot, but you hear details in songs you've never heard before.
Yeah, it's just they're
expensive, but they're unbelievable.
Yeah, they're €100.
And for that album in particular, that album patch, you'd have to say, it's so many layers to it, lads. You know, you're hearing different.
I was listening to it. I was listening to it during the week, and it nearly made the list for me as well. And what struck me was Marillion must have had a copy of that before they started writing anything, to be honest with you. Because I think Marillion is all over that. You know what I mean?
I never always sounded too Genesis-like for me.
I do now. Well, I like the early stuff. You know what I mean? Fugazi is an amazing album.
That album, I think Genesis reached a peak. And even if Gabriel hadn't have left, they probably would have made an album similar to that anyway. Right? And they reached a peak there. That was their peak, and after that,
that was the zenith, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it. They never bettered that, because I know the next album after it's still a good album, but it's not the same.
It's a few notches down, Pat.
And then, of course, they started going into all that pop stuff at the end, and they fell off a cliff. Basically, I was like, completely,
They made plenty of money now, mind you. It's a cliff. I wouldn't mind.
They made more money with the 80s stuff than they ever did.
They fell off a cliff into a big bed of money. You know what I mean? So
I know, but
great choice, Pat. Some album.
Oh, brilliant!
It's an incredible album.
My 1977 pick is I think it's the best album by Pink Floyd. It's Animals. I think this is just an amazing album.
Oh, fabulous! Yeah,
and a lot of it wrote, I believe, even during the "Wish You Were Here" sessions, because it's just a brilliant album.
Well, it must have been. It came out early in '77.
It did, yeah.
I assume it was written 76, 75.
Live and that as well before that. But it's just incredible.
Yeah, it is.
And my favourite track by Pink Floyd ever is on that sheet.
But even Dogs, the lyrics, it's a dark album.
It's very dark,
but deep. In terms of its lyric writing and the content of it in general, the whole feel of it, it's as punkish as any punk record.
It is, yeah. It's
in terms of giving out against society and this, that, and the other. It's a fantastic album.
Brilliant album.
Brilliant music. And I think the last great album where Rick Wright was involved. I know he didn't write much on it, but in terms of the playing,
brilliant.
Because Waters sort of took over altogether with the Wall, and
sure, he sacked him anyway after the Wall. They made the Wall. Anyway.
But that album, that's a fantastic album.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for 77. Mick,
to me,
the last 2 years now, 78 and 79.
Okay, I mentioned it earlier, but that's from 78.
Brilliant.
Not the finest album with Dio, as has already been mentioned, but for me, Gates of Babylon and Kill the King are worth the price of admission alone.
In the shade.
Gates of Babylon, brilliant.
It's just Dio is on fine form, and to me, he's probably
one of the great.
He's one of the best, if not the best hard rock vocalist. You know what I mean? He's just everything he touched. When he came in, obviously Rainbow, he formed it with Blackmore. Incredible. You know what I mean? When he joined Sabbath and did the Mob Rules, incredible. So to me, he's hugely influential and an amazing singer. So that I think is a classic album. For 17.9, I kept it Irish again.
What an album.
Black Rose. Love this album.
That was on my short list as well, Mick.
Yeah. Gary Moore's playing on this is just unreal. You know what I mean? Brian Downey to me is the most underrated rock drummer in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he's incredible. He's a jazz drummer playing hard rock as far as I can see. You know what I mean? He's far more he has achieved far more to me as a drummer than many drummers that are held in higher regard. So I don't understand why he's not way up there.
Drummers in the know acknowledge that, Mick, don't they?
A lot of drummers in the know do. Yeah, they definitely do.
What I thought about that album is when Gary Moore came in on that album, he helped the production on that's probably their best produced album.
Yeah, it would be, Pat.
He helped him with production, he helped him with everything, but they were all having their Moroccan Woodbines, and he just couldn't hack it anymore what they were doing. And he left halfway through the tour. He
did, because he wasn't turning up on time.
He wasn't turning up on time. He just had enough.
Yeah.
Just had enough. Like, he was a stellar musician.
He was a stellar musician.
Stellar musician. Brilliant picks, Mick.
Great.
Brilliant picks.
Great.
Yeah. Two great albums, I think.
Wonder what John was going to pick.
That fucking clue.
I've gone off left field again, guys. Sorry, but
it is a fucking surprise.
But going back to that idea, punk kill Prog and all that sort of thing. I just Prog. To me, Prog was after killing itself prior to all that.
Yeah, it killed itself.
But 1978, we had one of the biggest selling albums of the year, pure Prog. Jeff Wayne's musical version of the War of the Worlds. This was in nearly every house. It was Prog by any other name. It's here. Phil Lynott, of course, appears on it as the preacher, and you have all these people, Justin Hayward on it. This thing is, a big narrative from start to finish. It's going from David. Well, we can forgive David Essex, all right. He's only the artillery.
Hayward is on it as well.
Justin Hayward.
Yeah, from what's the name? Yeah. Who's that? Who's the singer from? What's the singer?
Procol Harum singer, is it?
Not Procol Harum.
Justin Hayward from the Moody Blues, isn't it? So we got Rich. Phil Lynott. It's absolutely amazing album. And
Richard Burton doing the narration.
Yeah, Richard Burton with the narration. Yeah, it's just fantastic. It just kind of takes you in and brings you off. I lived in the country one time. I used to terrify my children by putting it on when we were at home, and I'd put the thing on. And they'd be looking out over the fields to see where the big things coming across them and all the sounds with the guitar.
I lived at home. I bought that album off of you, but I had that when I was young. Because I think you're right there. That's a prog album that ended up in every house in the world. It could be the biggest selling prog album if you allow it to be prog, right? But I'll always remember I had a room in a converted attic in my parents' place, and I used to go to bed listening to music, right? I'd go to sleep listening to music. So I got up one morning, and the father came down the stairs, and he said, "You won't believe it." He said, "I didn't sleep a wink last night." He said, "Richard Burton was following me around," he said, "and there was aliens everywhere." He had nightmares all fucking night because I was playing that in the room above him. So that's my story from that one. But I think you're right, a classic album.
But I remember the album, and I never bought it at the time or anything like that. But you know, I mean, to me, it would have seemed kind of passe. I was more like yourself, Mick, into all that kind of metal that was out at the time and everything like that. And then what happened was I was actually working in Surrey in Weybridge, and I went into a charity shop, and it was there for £1. And the picture in the middle is Horsham Common in Weybridge. And I was saying to the guy in the charity shop, that's outside your fucking door, like, you know, and I'm buying the thing here. And I was kind of blown away by the fact that I bought it in the town where the aliens landed.
On location, Dermot, yeah.
Right, 1979.
Yeah.
What are you going to
79. I'd only one choice for 79, guys, The Wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've gone all predictable on this one.
Oh, yeah, very predictable.
I mean, this was a cultural phenomenon at the time. Like, and I mean, a lot of people don't seem to remember that. You know, I look at people and they're ranking Pink Floyd albums, and maybe they weren't around when this thing came out. But when this
I remember when it came out. I remember the impact.
Every age group, anybody was talking about it. It was on television programs. They were like saying that it was, you know, it was disturbing the fabric of society. It was this, that, it was the other thing. It was an insane look at society. It was all over the place, and it was hugely sold, and it was whatever people wanted it to be, but it was just such a huge phenomenon. Again, why is Prog dead in 1979? Who killed it? You know? So if you wanted to do it, you could, you know?
You could do it, absolutely.
That's right.
That's a brilliant choice.
Great pick.
Brilliant choice, Dermot.
Yeah.
I'm glad you approve of one of me bloody picks anyway.
I approved of a few of them, Dermot. It's just I haven't heard the other ones.
Yeah. Right. Well, go on.
Yeah, well, I know I should pick that.
The 78 for me, it's only one album that stands out like that.
That's the best one you and your collection kept from 78, yeah?
78, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you, Kevin.
Rush Hemispheres. What an album. Oops. You talk about Prog albums, Prog in 78, Dermot. That's a Prog metal album.
Yeah.
The max.
Yeah.
Every single piece of it is fantastic. And in particular, one of my favorite Rush songs is The Trees.
Brilliant.
And La Villa Strangiato is amazing. Circumstances, the title track. That's an amazing album.
Next one, book 2, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. It's up near the top 2 or 3 of their albums.
Oh, it would be. Yeah, they had, to me, with Rush.
They had a run there, didn't they, Pat? 77.
Farewell to the Kings, Up to Signals, to me, is their part of Rush.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
After that, they lost the plot and
After
became
that,
the Police.
they turned into Ultravox, and before that, they were blowing up in
Led Zeppelin. Very good, Pat. Yeah,
that's it. Like that's the way I look at them.
Yeah,
but that particular core of music is just incredible.
Yeah, it is brilliant, brilliant. And for 79, my last but not least, the amazing Rory Gallagher.
Oh yeah,
top priority.
Great album.
Yeah, not your favorite album, either.
Oh, it'll be up there though. You know, Photo Finish probably is, but I mean,
that's a brilliant album.
That's some album. Every track on that. That's an amazing album.
Great album. Love it.
Bit of Irish in that.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant.
Great album.
Brilliant.
And that's where we started off with the heavy and the gallery. It was after leaving the lighter stuff to one side for a few years there.
And that's great.
So it took me a while to get into Mick as a teenager to go back the way, because at the time I wasn't angry enough or heavy enough for me. Needed a bit of going. You know? Only kids, exactly. So always loved that album, and the live one that came after the Stage Struck.
That was in 1980. That's
So they were the first 3 albums. I bought them when they came out, and still have it. Love it. So that's my 79 pick.
Yeah, brilliant album.
Brilliant. Right, the last 2 then for me. 1978 has to be only one album in 1978.
Oh, what an album!
It's Heavy Horses by Jethro Tull. I love this album. Kevin will tell you now. Heavy Horses has always been my favorite track by.
Yeah, I love it.
By Tull. I just think this is amazing. It's different than Kevin had Songs from the Wood earlier. It's a different type of album, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not as proggy.
Yeah, that's right.
More folky.
More pastoral. Yeah, it's
like I was reading. Who was I reading the other day? Someone said they love Heavy Horses so much that they love when they're driving in their car through the country. I think someone left a comment.
Steve Wilson.
Steve Wilson said that. that it reminds them. It's
Just
just
kids of the
that's it.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen Wilson.
So that's that one.
Who incidentally remastered and did a fantastic job
All them books
on the
I thought
whole
fantastic.
Tull catalogue.
And in 1979, the Genius released
Genius.
3 studio albums. He released Sweet Dirt, Shake Your Booty, and then he released a triple in 2 separate ways, but in one in September and the other 2 in November, December. Joe's Garage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dermot, you're talking about Quadrophenia being kind of an opera or whatever. This is Frank Zappa's version of that in many respects.
Okay.
But the fact that there's countries out there that music is banned in, and still to this day, that Western rock music is banned. And this was his story about it. And he got so much flack from Shake Your Booty when they were all saying he was anti-Semitic because he did Jewish Princess.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, fuck this, he said. He was obviously brought up, he's a Catholic. He brought out Catholic girls.
Yeah.
That's the other part from the second and third album. And on CD, this is actually in a double CD set, 3 albums on the one set. But absolutely, like Watermelon and Easter Hay, the guitar solo on that is brilliant. My favorite track on that is On the Bus. They go with t-shirt type on that, and people are saying you can't say that. Like, I don't think if he was alive today, people would be telling Frank you can't do this and you can't say this, but he wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he never did, I suppose.
He never did give a fuck. He did. It was art. I know some people find a lot of the lyrics a bit childish. A little bit kind of childish humor in many respects. I think they're hilarious.
That's all that matters.
And I think that's a pure class. I don't think there's any artists in the music industry and any genre that would have brought out 3 albums in 1 year, a single, a double, and a triple. Nobody.
Yeah.
He's so prolific, wasn't he, Dermot Zappa?
He was, I mean, he had a lot of stuff kind of ready to push out there in '79. It was gas.
He had it there.
But about Joe's Garage, I remember him saying that. Didn't he also bring out Orchestral Favorites? Was it that year as well?
No, that was. I think that was in 1980.
Another single.
I think he might have brought that out either end of 79.
Tinseltown
Rebellion wasn't too far away.
Yeah.
I don't think he had that out in 1980, actually.
Yeah.
Not sure about that.
No, yeah. But I remember being interviewed about Joe's Garage, and he was saying that it was like his version of, he wanted a kind of high school play that they could do, but one that, he could imagine it, he said, being done in high school halls, like with kind of
there is a video
box.
Yeah, there is a video up on YouTube where a theatre group in America, and it's up there, do a show on Joe's Garage,
right?
Like a musical.
All right, yeah.
And whoever they are, they're able to play and able to sing. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. They can play obviously. Yeah. Brilliant. It's up. Have a look. It's up on YouTube.
Anyway, I must look that up.
Good stuff.
Now before we go, here's a question to the 3 and to me. If someone said to you, you have 20 seconds, those 10 albums are lying on the chair, you can only take one because the house is going to blow up. You can only take one and you have to think about it quick.
Physical Graffiti.
Good man.
That didn't take long. Probably Quadrophenia.
Deep Purple and Rock.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that as well, Beck. Yeah.
Quadrophenia.
Yeah.
There
you go.
That's good. So there we have. That's all I wanted to say. We just had to pick one quick.
Yeah.
That's it. Bigger hand, you can grab the whole.
What about you, Pat? What would you pick?
Oh, in Rock, Deep Purple and Rock.
Okay, yeah.
Has to be in Rock. Yeah, it's the first. I mean, that's my gateway into music. When I heard that cassette tape, and I know I keep repeating myself, with Fireball on one side, in Rock, Kevin heard it, I heard it, Paul Bulger heard it, someone else, I'm not sure who else was there.
My brother got up and fell in work.
Yeah. So that was my gateway. Before that, probably listened to a bit of Boomtown Rats, maybe a bit of Sex Pistols, a bit of Queen. But that wasn't, to me, that was the music that got us on the road to what we're listening to now.
Yeah.
And without that tape, so if that tape had to be fucking Boney M and some other fucking band, you wouldn't know what I'd be fucking listening to now. But no one knows what way we
but
would
it was a very similar experience. Yeah, it was a very similar experience I had. It was a tape of, remember, there was a compilation album, 24 Karat Purple.
Yes.
I have it.
It was that, like, somebody gave me a tape of that, and just to hear this and know that there was this type of music there, that it was out there. I couldn't work it out. It was mind blowing. Yeah, it was the gate
when we heard that, and I believe it or not, on that cassette, Tube Boy Army, Our Friends Electric was on it, and I believe there was an Eric Clapton.
After Midnight by Eric Clapton. Yeah.
And Kevin, and I still remember the make of, would you believe it's so long ago, I can still remember the make of the stereo. It was a Halotone stereo.
Yeah, little 3-in-1, yeah.
And I can still picture it. It's amazing how I can, and all can still remember it. And so can Kevin.
Yeah.
That's how defiant that moment was.
78.
Yes. Yeah. Because if we had to get a different cassette, can you imagine? Now, we might have got into it eventually, but imagine if there were punk albums and we loved them. We went down the punk route.
That's right, yeah.
And the new wave.
Stranglers and all that stuff. Yeah.
We might have gone that route and then maybe come back around. Because that eventually brought us into Prog and, all the classic rock albums and all the stuff.
But you'll find what you like, I know it's an obvious statement. You will, something just resonates with you and that's it, isn't it?
That was a key point, though. That was a key.
Yeah.
I always remember it's a key one.
Yeah.
Because we all went and we all have. Kevin has a similar taste. Now, Kevin's into more blues than I am, probably into more traditional Irish music than I am. Paul is into a different type of music altogether.
He likes Americana.
Americana and all that. But we all went into our own things.
But there's a common.
There's a common denominator there between the
hard rock albums.
I'm talking about the three of us now growing up, Kev, because we went to school together. We know each other before. Is Paul's favorite band was Black Sabbath, Kevin's was Led Zeppelin, mine was Deep Purple. And they're the three bands from the UK. They call them the whole kind of a holy trinity.
Holy Grail. Holy Trinity. Yeah, that's right.
Of hard rock, classic rock bands. We're not talking about prog at all now here, but they were the three. And then we went off and
discovered everything else after
that. Yeah. Anyway, lads, did you enjoy that?
Very good, Pat.
Class was good. It's interesting.
Very good. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I feel cleansed, Pat. I feel cleansed.
Enjoy it.
Pat. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, very good.
You feel cleansed?
Yeah.
Okay, good man. Good man. Just as well you didn't pull out one of them Boney M records you have there. Just over there to your right.
They're all Boney M, all them.
I know they are, sir. I know they are. You have them on display. But anyway, lads, that was great. I really enjoyed that video. And I'm going to do, just to let the viewers know, I'm going to do a 1980s.
Okay.
I'm going to start in 1980 on my next video. I'm not sure how far I can get into the 80s that I can pick 10 every year because I have to go on through the collection. And I'm not sure there would be enough saying that there must-have albums. I might have 10, but 25 of them are actually so they're not must-have. So I'll see how I go along with that. But anyway, from Mick, Dermot, and Kevin, and for me here on Pat on Close to the Edge, and it's nice to be nice, Kevin.
Cost nothing.
Nice to be nice. And whatever you're doing, stay safe. And if you do like this video, lads, if they like the video and whatever, subscribe, hit the like button.
Press like there, yeah.
Yeah, all that. And hopefully we'll get a few more subscribers and we'll do it. So for me anyway, and all the lads here, whatever you're doing, do it right. Bye-bye.